What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Keep It Down podcast. I'm your host, Garrett, as always, joined by my two co-hosts. Ty, how you doing today, baby?
What is up, everybody? Man, I'm excited to get back into it. We took a couple weeks off, so I'm not too rusty, man. But yeah, like I said, I'm excited, ready to get back into it.
Schmack, how you doing today, baby?
Good. Happy to be back. Episode number 23 already. Super excited to get into this one.
Yeah, so just some quick housekeeping as per usual. Follow us on Instagram at Keep It Down Pod. You can find our link tree in the bio, and that'll take you wherever you choose to listen, whether it be Spotify, Google, YouTube, yada yada. You know the rest. Twitter, all that good stuff. Yeah, and then follow us on YouTube at Keep It Down exclamation point. So we post all of our stuff there. You know, we post some shorts every now and again. So make sure to go subscribe, like, follow, all that good stuff. Let the boys know how we're doing. Boys, it's getting warm outside. You know what comes with warm weather? NFL players breaking fans' hearts, okay?
Yeah.
So specifically, we're talking about Odell Beckham Jr. signing a 1-year, $18 million deal with the Ravens. What do we think? What does this do to Lamar's stock? What's your general take, boys?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you guys, was that not just the most out of the blue signing that you guys have experienced in a while? Like, I didn't see that coming at all. Uh, on Sunday, like watching the Masters, and then all of a sudden I go on my phone, it's like OBJ to the Ravens. Like, I don't know if anyone saw that coming. As far as what it does for Lamar, you would think that maybe helps his case to try to get him back to the Ravens, but I don't know. Like, does OBJ sign not knowing what Lamar's deal is? Like, it seems like he might know something that we don't. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I legitimately think there's at least like 20 other teams where I could have seen OBJ signing with, and the Ravens are just not on that list. I mean, I don't know how the Ravens are spending, like, really trying to spend any money in the current climate they're in with Lamar right now. It doesn't make sense to me, and especially it's a 1 year, 18 million. I think most of it's guaranteed. I mean, which is crazy. I heard there were other reports about OBJ talking to other teams. I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and they were trying to offer him like 4 million or something like that, and he said it wasn't enough. But I mean, 18 million for 1 year for a guy that's coming off of an ACL injury, and you don't have your quarterback room is super uncertain. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe they know more than what kind of we know, and maybe there's more to the Lamar situation that's kind of unfolded internally, but I just think it's a weird signing for me.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think that OBJ knows something more than the general public do about the Lamar situation because,
Hmm.
I mean, it just seems a little far fetched that he'd sign this deal. You know, he's kind of, he signed with the Rams. Obviously, he wants to win championships. He doesn't want to be
Mm-hmm.
part of a rebuild. So I
Right.
find it kind of hard to believe that, he's going to sign to a team that is uncertain at quarterback. You know, like, do you think he's signing for the Ravens to play for Brett Hundley? Like, that's probably not his ideal landing spot. So,
Right.
yeah, it seems kind of random, but I mean, you never know. They could know a whole lot more behind the scenes than we do. So,
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
mean, sorry,
go
TC. The
ahead.
thing about the Ravens is, man, it's like who else is on that receiving core? I mean, aside from Mark Andrews, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, OBJ's kind of like it looks like you're number one right now, which is kind of crazy. I mean, especially like I said, coming off the injuries and all that stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Like, as far as the Ravens go, it does make sense. They have no receivers. Like, I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you who their number one going in the season was gonna be before OBJ signed. So from like that perspective, it does make sense. They have no receivers. He's a decent receiver the last time we saw him. Um, but the other side of the story is like, the tweet comes out with a picture of OBJ and Lamar on FaceTime together. Like, so that makes you think even more so like there's
Yeah.
something going on there. They're in communication, obviously. So like kind of like what Chach said, they might know more than the general public does. But yeah, no way that he signs with the Lamar situation just totally up in the air. Like he has to know something.
Yeah. Yeah, which makes me really curious about like what's going to happen with Lamar. Like did they come to like terms? Are they like working are they working something out, Is Lamar going to sign the giant contract that he's kind of talking about getting? I mean, I think the next couple weeks are going to be really interesting, and I think we'll have the answer to the Lamar saga. I think sooner than we were all expecting. We were expecting this to last a lot longer than it seems like it's going to. So,
Yeah, it kind of seems like the Ravens and Lamar might have agreed to something because um,
mm.
Harbaugh was impressed, like, I don't know, a week and a half ago or something, and no, like someone mentioned Lamar, and he's like, "Oh, we're not taking any questions on that situation right now." So I don't know if he doesn't want it to get leaked that he signed the fully guaranteed or what the deal is. So, but I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, uh, like their top receiver is Rashad Bateman. He's a third year out of Minnesota. That's
Yeah,
you know
decent
because
player.
obviously they dealt
yeah,
Hollywood Brown to the Cardinals. Yeah, Mark Andrews is a above average tight end, but I mean Lamar makes that offense go at the same time. So, but
yeah.
yeah, I mean we'll see what the Ravens do here moving forward. The draft around the corner and all that good stuff. So,
Hmm.
uh, boys, speaking of offensive teams, USC signs Kliff Kingsbury to a senior analyst role slash quarterbacks coach. Um, I mean, there's kind of two ways to cut this. One, it's a great move for Kliff Kingsbury. He's collecting a buyout check from the Cardinals
Uh-huh.
for God knows how much money,
A lot.
and then he's like, "Oh, I'm just going to go live in Southern California with Lincoln Riley and coach, fairly decent USC team." So I think it's on his part, it's a great move. But unless he coaches defense, I don't see how he's going to help this USC team be any better than they were last year. So
Yeah, definitely a really interesting move because like I mean, he was a head coach in the NFL last year, and now you're going to be an assistant to Lincoln Riley at USC. It's a pretty far fall from grace. You know what I mean? Like, is his intention just to live off of that buyout check for the rest of his life? Is he trying to get back on the horse at some point? Is he doing the year off sort of thing and just enjoying the fruits of his labor? It's hard to tell what's going on right now.
Yeah, you guys have to correct me if I'm wrong. Did Kingsbury coach at Oklahoma at any certain time, or am
Yeah,
I
I think he was there with Kyler Murray and Baker.
got it? So yeah, so I mean, and then obviously Caleb Williams is a transfer from Oklahoma. So I mean, they're all kind of in the same realm, I guess. I mean, I guess that's the only part of
um,
it that really
and Kingsbury coached Mahomes too,
right. Yeah.
Texas Tech.
Oh
Maybe
yeah,
he's Texas
at
Tech. I
Tech.
think he's Texas. Yeah, I think he's Texas Tech, not Oklahoma,
Got
if I
it. Okay.
remember right.
Um. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's obviously a a good quarterback coach, and I mean, like it or not, Caleb Williams did win the Heisman last year. So I mean, I guess I understand it, but I mean, I don't. I mean, like you said, Chach. I mean, their defense last year was literally the laughing stock of the. I mean, Tulane. That's all I got to say. Shout out the Green Wave. I mean, that's
Shout
all I
out
got to
Green Wave.
say. So I mean, I don't. Maybe they're just planning on hanging 80 on every team and then hoping that their defense can get a stop at some point during the game. But I don't know. Of course, I mean, this is all biased from an Oregon fan. So
Yeah, like even not having the greatest year last year, like you would think you'd be able to get a head coaching job somewhere if
mm-hmm.
he really wanted it. You know what I mean? It just seems like maybe he doesn't want to be a head coach right now. Wants
Yeah,
to maybe take a year off, regroup, figure out what he wants to do, kind of thing. That's my kind of impression of the whole deal. Like he took the money and ran off to Thailand, like when he first got fired, and maybe he's just kind of enjoying that, and maybe just wants to take the whole year off and be this
yeah,
offensive assistant and just kind of hang low or lay low for a little bit, you know?
yeah, yeah. I think that has a lot to do with it too. I mean, especially, I mean, the Cardinals just didn't pan out how everyone thought that all that was going to go. So
Yeah, like
yeah,
football wise, do you think it does anything for USC?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Caleb Williams is going to be Caleb Williams. I think. I mean, I don't know if you're really gonna. I mean, I guess there's ways to improve his game, but I think you kind of got a good glimpse of the player that he is and kind of how they're going to use him. You know, I mean, he's the
Won the
guy.
Heisman, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to run the ball. He's going to throw the ball, and I mean, you kind of know what to expect with him. So I don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's always stuff that can be brought to the table and stuff that can be improved on, and maybe Kingsbury comes in and helps the offense tick a little better. Or, I mean, who knows? But I'm really interested to see how it'll go. But
Yeah, I kind of see it as like Lincoln Riley wants a clone of himself to,
Yeah.
kind of take over some of those duties so he can, do some more head coaching stuff, or
Yeah.
spend a little less time in the offensive room and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
which again, on Kliff Kingsbury's part, it's a good move, live in Southern California, collect two paychecks, and so, but yeah, I just don't know if it does a whole lot for USC, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb Williams, they have all the talent in the world, but there's just some things that you got to coach and you got to go through.
Yeah. I
Talent
mean,
isn't
also
everything.
this is this is going to be USC's last season in the Pac-12, USC
Yeah,
and UCLA. So, and then they'll be off to, the Big 12 starting next year. So, or I guess the Big 14. Oh no, is somebody moving out? No, because they have a couple teams moving out of the conference, right? So I guess it'll still be the Big 12.
I think they're going to the 10. No,
Yeah, I believe it's Big Ten.
Oh, my bad.
so I got to go play Ohio State and Michigan. Good
Yeah,
luck with that.
that's going to be
For
a
some
little
reason, I was in
different
Big 12.
going up to Ann Arbor in the
I
middle of November.
heard it's really nice.
Yeah. Boys, so I saw this clip online. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but it's from the Kelsey brothers. And I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
Oh, I know
So
exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, so basically Jason Kelsey shows Travis Kelsey this picture. And it's of all the NFL coaches, but like they're just in their casual clothes. Like it seems like they're at a conference or something. Like they got like
Yeah.
khakis and Hawaiian shirts on and like
Uh huh.
they're just kicking it or whatever. So Jason shows him the picture and he's like, "Can you name all these coaches?" And he starts going down the line and like some of them, of course, he's like, "Oh, that's Mike Tomlin. Oh, that's Pete Carroll." Like the well-known ones or whatever. And then
Sure.
he gets to stuff. He's like, "I have never seen that man in my life. Like, there's no way he's an NFL coach. It'll be like the head coach for the Giants or something. You know what I mean?" So it's just
Right,
really funny. Like, you know, he plays for the Chiefs. Like, he probably doesn't have to pay that much attention to who the head coach is for the
Right.
Bengals per se, or like, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Obviously, he knew who Zach Taylor was. They've had many battles, but you get the picture.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, I cooked up a little game for you boys to test your knowledge of the NFL head coaches, but I'm kind of running it backwards. I'm not going to ask you guys the teams and you tell me the head coach. I'm going to tell you the name of the head coach
oh
and you tell
gosh.
me what team that they're
Uh,
coaching.
Is this for the
Okay?
NFL or is it NFL, college, everything under the
This
sun?
is all NFL head coaches. I didn't
okay.
do skill
Okay.
positions. I didn't do anything funky. They're pretty straightforward. Um, should be fairly easy, but I don't know. We'll see, guys.
Let's do
First
it.
one off, Nick Sirianni.
Eagles,
Yeah. Eagles.
He does coach for the Eagles. Brian Dayball,
Giants,
Giants. That's correct. Josh is getting hot. Robert Sala,
Jets,
Jets. That's correct. This one's easy. Dan Campbell.
No Lions.
Lions.
There you go, Schmag. All
We're
right,
back.
a little harder. Kevin O'Connell.
Oh, Vikings.
Yep, Vikings is right. Zach Taylor.
Bengals.
Yeah, I kind of ruined that with the intro. Um, Kevin Stefanski.
Oh gosh, I could see his face. I just can't picture what uniform is on his hat.
Stefanski.
Kevin Stefanski.
Oh, the Browns.
Yep, it's the
Ugh.
Browns.
Ugh.
Mike McDaniel.
Oh, Dolphins.
Yep,
Yeah,
Dolphins is
yeah,
right. Two
The
left,
Vapors.
boys. Doug Peterson. Where's he coaching at?
Jaguars.
yeah.
Yep. And D'Amico Ryans.
Texans.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say he just
Yep.
signed.
Which good for him, by the way, man. That's so awesome.
Boys, I think that's the best that you guys have ever done in a game that I've ever cooked up. You guys went 10 for 10 and like didn't even
Hey,
break a sweat.
there were a couple
Jason
though.
Kelsey would be proud of you boys. I should have made it a little bit harder, maybe giving you guys some like offensive coordinators or something. You
I,
guys
I
really
think
know
we
your ball, man.
I think we hit some coordinators next week. I think that'll be a good one.
And I was even trying to stay away from like the Mike T, Pete Carroll.
Yeah,
You know, I wasn't trying to give you guys like total layups. Like I didn't be like, um, who's coaching the Patriots? Like I
yeah.
didn't give you guys that big a layup. But
I
yeah,
just
you
need
guys
to
nailed it.
I need to learn more of them because I swear if somebody came up and like gun to my head said, "Who's the coach of the Jets?" I'm gonna be like, "Oh no."
It's harder when you say the program and you have to think of the coach, but like when you see the
Yeah.
name, it like just goes with it, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, boys, if we're talking about some stuff we got cooked up for each other, all right, boys. Let me a little bit of a tangent here for a second.
Oh,
So I was on TikTok the other day, right? I'm scrolling around.
of
I come
course.
across this TikTok, and it's of a PBR bull, right? It's this lady, and she follows around this PBR bull all day. He likes getting his nose scratched. He likes getting his head scratched. He eats snacks. He like buries little holes in his hay when he's waiting to go in the arenas and stuff. And so what I did is I compiled some of the greatest bulls ever to buck on this earth. Okay,
Wow.
so the names are a little wild. Okay, so just bear with me. All right, first off, we got Little Yellow Jacket. Okay,
Mm.
93 outs. So that's their total times they've been in the arena. 15 qualified rides. He was
Wow.
either, and so this is a quote from one of the greatest bull riders of all time. He was either a guaranteed 90 plus ride or he was serving up a cold dirt sandwich.
Mm.
First bull to ever win 3 world titles in a row. Next on the list, Little Yellow, no, sorry, Chicken on a Chain is the second one.
Okay.
He had 127 outs with 33 qualified rides. In 2007, he had the highest buck off percentage ever at 94.44%.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so in that same year, 2007, he had 18 outs in the qualifying rounds. So those are like the money rounds of the rodeos. He had 1 qualified ride the entire year.
Wow.
Um,
Jeez.
and that was a 2,200 pound bull, which like most of these range from like 16 to 18.
He's a
So
big boy.
he's a big boy.
Hey, you know who else went 18-1 in 2007?
Who?
Tom Brady.
Hey, goat.
Shout out Eli.
Shout out
All
Eli
right.
Manning, baby.
All right. Second to last on the list is Mickey Mouse. In 2012, he had 40 outs with no qualified rides.
Mm.
The greatest. This is the greatest could have been of bull riding history. He got in the gate, got all bronky, got his leg stuck in the fence, fractured a disc in his back, never bucked again. That was the end of his career.
Dang.
All right, and then the baddest of all time, boys, is Bushwhacker.
Nice.
87 outs, 3 qualified rides. He had a 45 buck off streak from 2011 to 2013.
Mm.
And I don't know if you guys know who JB Mooney is, but he's like
Yeah.
the bull rider of nowadays. And
Mm-hmm.
I was doing all this research, and a podcast clip popped up of him, and he's like telling these dudes that he like rode Bushwhacker at a private like arena, and he gets on him, and the gate opens, and the lights turned off, dude. And, and so like, yeah, and so JB Mooney's was 2 of the qualified rides. He's only been ridden by 2 people ever.
Dang.
And so, yeah, I got on this rabbit hole, boys, and I thought it'd be interesting to talk about on the podcast. So,
I am a strong believer that it would take a completely ridiculous amount of money for me to even get close to a bull and freaking try to ride a bull for 8 seconds in that setting. And I'm not even talking about these bulls. I'm talking about a bull, just any bull.
Yeah, no.
Like it's
like a cow.
terrifying. Yeah, just a cow.
Yeah, no, it's
Well,
absolutely
dude,
crazy. Like, just the more you look into it and like the history and the lineage and like, oh, this is like, this bull's grandson and like all that kind of stuff. It's honestly crazy, dude. Like, so much goes into it that people don't even know about. But
yeah, dude, like that's what I was gonna say is when you go to like even your small hometown rodeo or whatever, and the bull runs past you, you're on the other side of the fence or whatever, but it's like that um like when the bull runs past him, like something takes over you, tells you to get the hell out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something is not right. It's like when you go see the lions at the zoo or something, and one of them roars, like your body's like, dude, we gotta get the hell out of here. Like something's not good.
absolutely.
So like, there's that whole part of it, dude. Like you take a step back and look at bull riding as a sport, like it's absolutely nuts, man. Like
Mhm.
the danger involved is ridiculous, since the success rate is really not that high. You know what I mean? Like your
Uh,
chances of falling on the ground and having this massive beast in this caged in little arena with you are pretty high, and it can stomp on you. Like obviously people are going to try to protect you, but just absolutely nuts, man.
Yeah, when I was like skimming through all of these, dude, there's like a couple bulls that aren't listed, but they've killed multiple people. Like literally multiple
Hmm.
people have died
they got a
trying to
body
ride
count,
this
dude.
animal. And
Hmm.
yeah, and then people just still just hop right up in the chute and try to do it again. Like it's
For the
like
glory,
the
baby.
Dude,
yeah,
I feel like being in the chute too has got to be just as scary as being on the freaking thing. Like once they
dude,
open
that
it, like
I
you're in a
don't
confined space.
I feel like it's worse when they just stand there and do nothing, and then they just go ape shit once the gate opens. Like I
Yeah,
feel like I want to be a little rowdy in there, you know.
they're just saving their
Yeah.
energy.
Like if he's just standing there and then freaking the gate opens and he just freaks out, like that's not ideal.
Okay, but would you rather though? Would you rather if you had to pick one, would you rather ride a bull or like a horse, like a bareback horse?
Oh, a bull,
I think I would take the bull too.
Over the horse?
dude. Do you
Yeah.
know how high a horse can jump?
Well, yeah, it's gonna jump higher, but also the bull has horns.
I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah,
valid.
and I feel like the see now that I'm thinking about what you're saying though, because the bull once you hit the ground, it just wants to hurt you even more. The horse is like,
Uh,
finally, you're off.
yeah, yeah. Like I don't think the horse's intention is to hurt you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
But you're right. You do. You could possibly fall from a greater height.
yeah. I mean, freaking count me out of that. I mean, we rode a sheep once, and that's tough.
You rode a
Yes,
sheep
Mike. How
spray?
did that go?
Mine went fine.
How'd you do?
All right, so for those of you listening and watching, here's the backstory. My dad, old Papa Curry, wanted to put
Texan.
us, the Texan, wanted to put his boys in a rodeo. Right, we are fresh out of like jazz dance class, and so he wanted to put us in a rodeo. So it's literally Easter Sunday, and he takes us down to Keene to the old arena that they had there. And originally, if you remember correctly, he wanted to sign us up to ride steers, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Little young lads, little
yeah.
young cows, and we were going to do that. But then for some reason we couldn't, so sheep were our option. Um, and it's like a popular thing, I guess, in the rodeo to have like younger kids ride sheep. But anyway, um, so like we're there for like 5 minutes, and then that was when some girl was riding a sheep, and it ran into the rocks on the side of the arena, like knocked her out cold. She got a concussion, and then we still decided to get on these sheep. So TC, did you go? I don't know if I went first or if you went first.
I can't remember the order, but I feel like you went first, but I'm not sure.
So yeah, so anyway, I get on the sheep, right? And I mean, hard to believe, but I was a husky little kid. I was a husky
Hmm.
little fella. And I get on the sheep, and the sheep goes, and the chute opens, and the sheep takes this big old jump, and then lands on the ground, and his front two legs just like buckle, like from the sheer mass that I am just on this dude's back. Feet just buckle. It falls over. It makes like this crazy noise. I flip over the front of it, and the sheep like gets up and like limps off. And like I still say to this day, I'm pretty sure they had to put the thing down after I was done with it. And just took one jump, and then like just like its knees like bent backwards or something crazy. And then yeah, that was it. My ride lasted like a second, and then it was over. So
Yeah, I remember from my ride, Big J wanted me to like write it backwards or something because he said it was gonna be easier. But I don't think
and
I
you,
let him. I don't think I went for that. But I did like lay down and like let him like tie my hand like in the rope like on its shoulders basically, you know.
yeah,
And then yeah, go ahead.
no, he wanted you to like like flip around and like grab
Yeah,
it by like the haunches, like on
yeah,
like its hips, and like run like grip your hands in like on its hips. But
yeah,
you just like slung your arm like around its neck, and then like dug your hand into the like the rope that was around it.
yeah,
Yeah.
You got him in
yeah,
rear
like
naked
around the
right there.
shoulders. Yeah.
Uh
And so, yeah, like for a little bit,
huh.
a visual, like we're wearing like old school hockey helmets. You know, they have
Yeah.
the metal face mask, like those squares in it. You know, full face hockey helmet. So anyways, get out of the chute. I don't last on the sheep for very long, and it kind of bucks me off. But like, for some reason, I try to hold on to the rope still, so it's just dragging me through the dirt in the arena. You know what I mean? Because like, I don't know if I thought I was gonna like be able to like pull myself back up or something.
You're like, no, I
But
can
like,
save it.
yeah, I thought I could save it or something, and so it's just dragging me through the. So like, when I finally let go and look up, like my hockey helmet's just full of dirt.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so that was just the running joke for a long time, was the face full of dirt when you're looking up. But yeah,
You just didn't let go, dude. That thing drug you for like in my brain. It was like a super long way, and you were just holding on by the rope, and it was just taking you.
dude, yeah, like the funniest part of that story was like not really funny, but okay, so the girl that had gone before us, like that sheep just ran her straight into the wall. Like it was a
Yeah,
serious situation. Like she was severely concussed. Like it was a medical situation, just like in the middle of the arena or whatever. And
yeah,
like they got her outside the arena, and Jay's like, "All right, boys, you're up." And then we're
yeah,
like, "Oh God."
dude. Yeah,
Dude,
and we're like, all
what about
right,
that?
cool.
What about that
Yeah.
time we were at the rodeo grounds cutting down firewood for Jay,
Yep. Yeah.
and one way or another, your boy, me, yours truly, gets loaded in the cattle chute, um, and Schmag opens the gate, and then
A little
Ty
team
and
roping.
Schmag's friend Ray, just tracked me down and just absolutely pummeled me to the ground in the middle of the rodeo arena, like I was a poor little deer.
We were toughing you up for next season, man.
Oh my gosh, dude, that dirt is just so soft and
Yeah, it was
powdery,
really
and
soft actually.
so
Remember we put the dogs in the cattle chute and we let them go? They're actually pretty hard to track down.
Yeah. uh, Rodeos.
yeah, boys. Um, does Schmag got a little segment prepared for the boys too?
Yeah,
Sure, what you got?
yeah, I do. So I know we've talked about this kind of informally, um, but I was watching a video the other day and somebody mentioned it, and I was like, I don't think we've actually like brought this and sat down on the pod and like talked about it yet. But it's always a fun question that kind of goes around our house. But I want to know your guys's, and I'll weigh in with mine also. But I want to know your death row meals, okay? And we just call these death row meals. It's I know that the rules in prison is like when you're gonna, when you're sentenced to death and all that stuff, you get like one final meal. And I think the official rule is that, like, it has to be something that the prison makes. Like, you can't get something like ordered out. It has to be something the prison makes. We're throwing those rules out though. So I'm
Hmm.
saying like your
Of course.
final meal, and we're gonna call it death row meals, but I'm saying your final meal. Okay, and I've broken this down into 4 easy categories for you guys. Okay. I want to know what your main dish is. I want to know what your side dish is. I want to know what your drink is. And we're going to say if you have an alcoholic drink, you can put it on there, or non-alcoholic drink and a dessert. So I guess we'll just kind of do this round robin style. We'll give our main dish, and then we'll give our side dish, drink, and then finish it up with dessert.
Yeah, so these questions can be tricky because for me it's gonna differentiate, it's gonna differ based on what kind of mood I'm in. You know what I mean? Like it's hard
Uh-huh.
to say like, oh, this is my favorite food of all time. Like it's more
True.
like on a day by day basis, like what I really got a hankering for. So I really try to like sit back and think about like my all time favorite things, but it's a
Uh-huh.
tough one, you know? And even like the movie section, like it's pretty tough just to narrow it down to just one thing. But
Yeah.
all that being said, for my main dish, I of course went with sushi, a lot of it.
Oh.
Um,
Mm.
I'm doing eel rolls, Philly rolls, spicy crab rolls, and all of the fried tempura rolls, fried volcano rolls, fried this, fried that rolls.
Dang.
Hey,
All the ones that are just super unhealthy for you, I'm just going crazy on all of those boys.
run it up.
Yeah, I'm just talking a massive amount of sushi.
Oh, I love that. I didn't think of sushi. Sushi never even crossed my mind. But I mean, I can see that for sure.
I'm about to hit you with the absolute freaking mega mind play right now. 1,000 IQ. So for my main dish, I'm gonna pick a Louisiana style crawfish boil.
Mm.
Oh, all right. You get
Okay,
Oh,
all right. You get a
just
lot of
like
variety there.
a giant pile of food. You got the shrimp, you got the crawfish, you got the potato, sausage, corn. All
Yeah,
that good stuff, and that's just the main dish. So that's how I'm attacking my day here.
it's really really smart actually. I went with like tri-tip, like barbecue or smoked tri-tip.
See, I almost
Is
picked a Red House tri-tip sandwich with spicy barbecue sauce on it.
uh-huh. Yeah, like I was thinking about it because like it's gonna be like for me like some sort of red meat, but like personally, I just kind of always go back to tri-tip, and I just it's my thing, and I think that would be an excellent main dish for the last meal.
You
All
know that
right,
tri-tip's a West Coast thing. Like
is it really
Dude, okay,
if you go
just
to the
quick side
Midwest, they
tangent.
have no idea what tri-tip is.
Dude,
interesting?
okay,
It's
quick,
not a cut of meat out there.
yes, super quick side note. It's called the Great American Smoke Off on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
And there's like, long story short, there's an episode where they have to there's all these exotic meats. It's like iguana, python, alligator, and then tri-tip is just mixed in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
was
like
like,
exotic to
what?
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, so one dude's cooking a fucking iguana and some other dude's smoking a tri-tip. Like, what are we doing?
like, dang, that one looks way smaller than this one.
Yeah, like literally every middle-aged dad out here just knows how to cook it perfectly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like, there's not one I've met that doesn't.
Oh,
Anyways, T,
that's so
let's get a
funny.
side dish.
Yeah, side dish, TC.
Ooh, so this is kind of like a made-up side dish, and I think
Sure.
some of it's just like it sounded really good in the moment. But I want to do a pretzel platter from around the world.
Mm.
Okay, I want to do like all different types of soft pretzels and
I love
all
that.
different types of mustards and
Let's
cheeses and
go.
weird cheeses
Dang, that's
and
kind of
spicy
fire.
mustards and like, dude, I just want like all different style soft pretzels, all different style mustards, and all different style cheeses. That's my
Love
side
that.
dish.
Dang.
Okay.
That's a freaking good one.
Yeah.
For my side dish, went pretty variety with the main dish.
Uh-huh.
So for the side dish, we're gonna go with Texas Roadhouse rolls, like 15 of them.
Mmm. Wow.
Ooh.
All right, so
Dude,
wait, you got the crawfish boil. Wait, crawfish
Yeah,
boil, crawfish
yeah.
boil, and Texas Roadhouse rolls.
dang,
Pretty good
dude.
1-2 punch.
I know. I thought long and hard about
Wow.
this every day I was driving this week. Okay.
So for my side dish, I have, and this is a close one for me. I landed on pasta salad.
Ooh, okay. Like with the pepperoni and the cheese and the tomatoes and the Italian dressing.
Yeah. So I mean, like you can do it like the homemade one where you could do like the mozzarella cheese and the salami and pepperoni and the Italian dressing, or I mean that's just a gussied up version of the suddenly pasta salad that we all eat.
Right.
My second up was like macaroni salad, big macaroni salad guy too. But I feel like
Yeah,
pasta salad to me, I think takes it.
That's valid. That's a good carb too.
yeah, Smart. You're
Solid.
just sounding like just like a Saturday cookout type of last meal right now. You got
Dude,
tri-tip mac salad.
dude,
Yeah,
literally,
are you gonna
it's
take a
it's
little
like
You're
I
six and a
just
was,
half
having
ounce
your
A and
death row
W root
meal
beer
like
next?
every weekend.
dude, it's kind of crazy, but like it's just what I enjoy. It's the funniest
No,
thing.
it's fine. Yeah, okay.
All right, TC, what you drinking with this?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of exotic with my first two picks. I don't think this one's really that hard to guess, but it's going to be on tap Modelo, 2 limes.
Mm.
Mm.
Really not much to say. You boys know that I'm a Modelo boy through and through. So it's a
hey,
nice old Modelo, tall with 2 lime. Oh, nothing better.
yeah, hey, Modelo, if you're listening, we're not Corona drinkers over here. So if you want to interested in working with the boys, hit us up.
Yeah, y'all
Yeah.
got that fighting spirit.
Yeah.
For my drink, I'm gonna be selecting 2 gallons of Milo sweet tea.
So like one.
2 gallons.
Why two?
Yeah,
Why two
why'd you
gallons?
One's
pick an
not enough and
amount?
three's too many.
just in case I'm really thirsty.
It's literally my last meal. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do like 5 Modelo's my last meal, so I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
Also, crab boils are spicy, dude. And you gotta have some drink for that thing.
Sean's not getting it.
Yeah. Okay. For my drink, I went with wild cherry Pepsi.
Whoa, whoa.
Yeah. Like if I'm going
I
like soda, like soft drink, like I think that's the one.
What
Not
about
the
cherry
diet
coke
one.
from Del Taco?
I mean cherry.
ooh.
Yeah.
Wait, what
Really,
does
cherry
Del
coke out of
Taco
any
have?
tap.
Is it cherry
Cherry
Coke or
coke.
cherry Pepsi?
I think it's cherry Coke. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, delectable.
so
Yeah.
good.
But yeah, and I'm not going diet either. I'm going full force, dude.
Gary, what's your favorite sody pop?
I really like Pepsi Zero. I'm not really a Coke like Coke Original, like the just normal Coke is fine, but like Diet Coke and Coke Zero are not my favorite.
Wow. Ooh, Judge.
You're a Pepsi boy?
Yeah, I'm a Pepsi
No,
boy.
Judge.
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
Are you
hate to do
You
okay?
it,
wear
but
Adidas as well?
I mean,
Ooh.
I have a couple pairs.
No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. No, like I think Pepsi is fine, really, but like
Yeah.
I think there's pretty similar products like Coke and Pepsi. Like, yeah, you can
Yeah,
taste a
it's
small
really just
difference.
I like Diet or I
Sure.
really Zero, and like the Coke Zero to me just tastes like too cinnamony kind of vibes for me. I just like
Uh,
Pepsi Zero better. I like the
What
flavor
about
of
like a
it.
Coke from McDonald's though?
Oh yeah, well
mm,
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like regular Coke is fine. I'll pick like because a lot of places don't have Pepsi, obviously, and also why
Yeah,
I prefer Pepsi over Coke is because also I enjoy an icy cold Mountain Dew. So and those go together, obviously, because Pepsi owns Mountain Dew. So
yeah.
yeah.
you know how it goes.
I've had to pick a favorite. I'm probably rocking like the cherry vanilla Coke. I like
Yeah,
that quite a bit, or just like a Coke from McDonald's in general. But
Yeah.
you know what's like super underrated is like if you get like one of those knockoff brand like grape sodas at a barbecue, or like
Yeah.
the orange one or
Oh.
something. Like they always smack so hard. You're like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start buying grape soda, and then you never do. But
dude, I had this
The
revelation. Sorry to cut you off, Schmack, but
no, you're good.
all the sodas in the gas station are like over $2.99, 3.25 or something like that.
right,
But the Sunkiss, right? Just OG Sunkiss, all of the flavors. They have like strawberry lemonade, cherry limeade, grape, orange mango, cactus cooler, RC, 99 cents, all of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
And so I've become very prone to the other selections because like they're honestly like just as good, if not better, like almost more refreshing, especially as it gets hotter out.
definitely.
Good for mixing as well. TC, I
Exactly.
was gonna say the last time we went down to Costco, we brought home a flat of the Shasta colas. So
Yes,
we had
Ooh,
Shasta.
orange, we had grape,
Yep.
we had the tiki punch, dude, and the tiki
Hey,
punch goes so hard
it
you
does.
any
guys
time of
stupid.
year, dude. Oh
Yeah.
man, it's so good. Um. Okay, all right. I guess we're going on to dessert now.
Oh, this one's tough. This one's
So I have an
really
easy clap. So
tough.
if you want me to skip you, TC, if you need to think about it.
No, yeah, go ahead if you got one.
Okay. Mine's gonna be 4 Carnival Cruise Line molten lava cakes.
You know, I thought about a molten lava cake as
That's
well.
yeah.
Dude, so
You said
good.
4. That's
And then
beautiful.
you take them back to the room, and then you get Caesar salad delivered to the room as well.
Hey,
Exactly.
hey.
No, dude, those are so good. Mine is kind of out of left field, I think, a little bit, but it's a freshly baked homemade pumpkin roll.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like they got
You
the
know what?
cream cheese filling.
You know what's good about
So
pumpkin rolls
underrated.
too, man? It's like the first time you have one because when you're eating a pumpkin roll, that means a lot of things, okay?
Hmm.
Besides the fact that you're eating dessert, it means there's football on
Yep.
either like
Yeah.
that day or a day very close to you, and it means that
Every
summer's
day.
over and that you are getting in to the best time of the year. We're getting into spooky season. We're getting into Christmas. We're getting into Thanksgiving, and that's what pumpkin
Hmm.
roll means. Pumpkin roll is a
Pumpkin,
symbol
son.
of a lot
Yeah,
of things.
like yeah, I want one like homemade by say my grandma. You know what I
Mm,
mean? That kind of
yeah,
pumpkin roll, like not a store bought one.
yeah. You can like nuke it for like a couple seconds and get it like nice and warm and like.
See, okay, I'm
Yeah, but if
team
it's my
cold
final
desserts.
desserts, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna have mostly team cold desserts, besides the molten lava cake, of course. But yeah, like anything like that, even like pie, just even if it's like apple pie, if I would eat it. I know we already talked on the previous pod that I despise apple pie and everything it stands for, but like it's got to be cold for me. I just don't like warm. Yeah, like even leftover pizza, like I'll nuke it for 13 seconds max.
Charge. Okay, this is the thing about people. Okay, okay. We're not.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay,
no, no. Hold on,
charge.
hold on,
Okay,
hold on, hold on, hold on.
charge.
So you want all your food cold? Is that what you're trying to
No,
say?
Charge. Excuse
Oh,
me.
you know what? I just thought about. Remember when we caught him eating the burrito that was still frozen in the middle schmag?
Yes, charge.
This is all making sense.
Okay, this is the thing about pizza, dude. Okay, there's nothing wrong with cold pizza. 100%. Eat the cold pizza. Don't care. But if you're gonna nuke it, charge, you gotta heat that thing up.
no, because
Yeah,
here's
what's
why.
the point of the 13 seconds?
It's not actually 13, but I still like it to get like hot and but like when you pull it out and it's making that noise where it's like you can hear the
Well,
cheese all
yeah.
melting and whatnot.
Like it's warm.
And no, like it's hot. I don't like the hot. I just want it to be
No,
warm enough
you know what
and
you
like
gotta
soft.
do is you gotta put the leftover pizza in the air fryer, man. It brings it back
Mm,
to life for real.
I
Like I
mean,
know
yeah,
it takes a little bit longer. You're just trying to like pop in the micro real quick and eat it. But if you
yeah,
have if you take the time and put it in the air fryer, it comes out like tasting just like the day you got it.
yeah,
also here's the
yeah.
other benefit of the 13-second nuke. You can have that puppy cooked and ate in like sub a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not just because the pizza's cold. It's like for like efficiency now. Now I get it.
Efficiency.
Okay,
I'm like Rob Deerdeck. I'm all about efficiency, baby.
they love
All right,
that.
so Chach, if it wasn't gonna be the molten lava cake, would it be some sort of like ice cream or pudding or like
I mean, it'd
flan
be
or what's
pretty
going
tough
on?
to turn down like a 32-ounce Frosty King chocolate peanut butter shake.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like especially with my
yeah.
lactose situation. Like, I mean,
Oh
that's got to
yeah.
be as what you're sending out with, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm going out with some bubble guts, dude.
Exactly.
There's gonna be a mess to clean up when I'm done.
Dude, like
Yeah.
Walgreens popcorn farts all the way to your electric chair.
Okay, okay. Shrug, what you got?
I went really simple, dude. I went with
Don't say.
a mint and chip shake, a
Oh,
mint
you
and
like
chip
it.
ice cream
Shrug.
shake.
Shrug, I feel like your goals are so attainable. Like we can
I'm,
literally do this for you this weekend if you wanted, buddy.
hey, you know what? If y'all want to
Like,
make me that meal this weekend, please. I mean, I'm down.
this boy's got tri-tip mac salad, a cherry coke, or
I'm a
what'd you
simple
say, cherry
guy.
Pepsi,
Oh, I said wild cherry Pepsi.
and a milkshake. Like,
I mean, obviously, like it's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a
He's like,
big old
well,
32 ouncer kind of vibe.
no, yeah, yeah,
I want
yeah,
frozen burritos and corn dogs.
Yeah,
yeah.
just a just a whole pack of hot dogs.
All right,
Oh
boys.
my
Yeah.
I think the next little section we got is super interesting. Chat, you want to kick it off? What movie you thinking?
Oh, for the death row thing.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I thought we were doing a movie to watch as well, or no?
Oh, that's an interesting one. I mean, I was just going to talk about movie trilogies or anything that's overhyped or underrated or stuff like that.
Oh, I
No, no,
thought
But
you
but I
were
no,
like
saying.
this.
this
I
is
like
I
no,
this.
but
I like this.
no,
I
yeah,
this
like
is a
this.
good one.
I thought it was put on the list as well. Like you're gonna be watching a
No,
movie while you eat your meal.
no, this is great, and I'm glad. I'm glad this mix up happened. What
Yes, man, you gotta
movie?
cut that thing up.
Oh, I have it cut up on mine. It's not cut up on yours.
Yeah.
Anyway, what movie are you watching with your final meal? Let's say it is Death Row, and they say, hey, you know what? You can watch a movie.
Well, my favorite movie all time, obviously, Forrest Gump.
Mm.
All right, deal. Sure.
Um,
Um,
Is that the last one you were watching though?
yeah, I mean it's my
It's a good
favorite
one.
one.
It's a good one to
Best
go
one I've
out on.
experienced here on Earth. So you gotta go with that one.
That's a long movie too.
Yeah, so that buys me some time so I can figure out
Yeah.
a
I was
skate
gonna say,
play.
do you just be spiteful and pick Lonesome Dove? Like the whole thing.
The box set.
Gosh, that's a tough one, man. Because like, oh, Schmike, if you have one, you can go. I need to think for a second.
I mean, if we're just picking like our favorite movie, like,
Yeah, just like your favorite movie.
but I don't know if like I want to watch Miracle as the last thing that I watch, like before I'm out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, half of me wants to just say Cars.
Cars. Just so you know everything's gonna be okay.
Like it really kind of just
Exactly.
depends. Like, am I trying to get the vibes up? And like, am I trying to like think that there might still be a way out of this, or am I just mailing it in, watching like Law Abiding Citizen or like Lone Survivor or something like that? You know what I
No,
mean?
no. I think you go for a
Really
classic
crazy.
Jackass. You
Some
Ooh.
know,
good
just like
laughs.
Try
just
to
some
get your
good
mind
laughs.
off it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like a nice Dumb and Dumber kind of vibe, or
Oh yeah,
like,
Dumb and Dumber's a good
Ooh, what
one.
about Nitro Circus Lock and Load?
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Ooh,
ooh,
all great picks.
yeah. I think I'm going something a little more uplifting though. Like I'm not, yeah.
All right, so what's uplifting enough for you
Marley and
No,
me.
no, no, no. I'm just
then?
saying, like,
Marley and
as
Me,
yeah.
Old Yeller.
Green Green Mile sounds great.
Kill a Mockingbird.
To kill a
Yeah.
mockingbird. Yeah, no, no. I'm just saying, like, as like between like I don't know. I just feel like I'm like I'm trying to laugh. If I'm watching like a movie, like I'm trying to laugh. I feel like Jackass is a great pick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Horrible Bosses too.
yeah.
Right. So do we get picks from everyone? I said Forrest Gump.
I picked Jackass.
Josh, Josh went with Jackass.
Yeah. So I mean,
Or
I guess
maybe
like
both.
Boss Baby. Emoji
I
Movie.
mean, dude, Boss Baby's a good one.
Road El Dorado.
Yeah. Dude, I'd probably go with like Dumb and Dumber, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Dumb and Dumber. I think. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I
So
Um,
mean,
well.
I was gonna
speaking
say,
of
kind of piggybacking off Schmag's thing here.
yeah, speaking of like movie trilogies, I mean, we don't have to go too much into depth here. I just want to know, like, we've talked about like shows and stuff before, but what are your guys' favorite? And I'm calling a movie trilogies. I'll break this up into series because technically a trilogy would just be 3 movies, but we can go like for like series. But I want to know which ones like you're big fans of and which ones are just plain overrated and you don't understand why people
It's
gawk
over.
over them
It's an
so much.
overrated, underrated kind of vibe.
Little, yeah, underrated or overrated kind of thing, except for you just tell me how you feel.
Where you guys at with Star Wars?
I
Mm.
feel like it's if they would have stopped at 6,
Oh.
it would
Yeah,
have
six
been
was perfect.
yeah. Like the new
Yeah.
stuff is like cool. Like it's cool. Don't get me wrong. You know, like to see like the new graphics and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like we've just gotten so far away from Star Wars at this point. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like it's yeah. I don't know. But also, I haven't seen every single minute of all of the extras, and maybe I'm not the biggest diehard Star Wars guy. So
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you are, Chuck. It's like I admit I haven't seen every single minute of every single of the new movies, but like in my opinion, like dude, they had it at 6. Like there's nowhere to go after that. Like you killed it, you done it. Like you did
Mm.
6 awesome movies. You know what I mean? And Smog kind of talked about it before. Like people even be hating on the newer 3 out of the original 6. So like you know 1, 2, and 3 basically.
Mm.
They be hating on those ones compared to the older ones, man. And I'm like, no, they all kind of all work together. I'd say all 6 of those are pretty goated.
Yeah, I mean, for Star Wars, for me, it's like they're just completely different. Like you watch 1 through 6 for the story, you know, from like the original story, and then everything after that's kind of just like building on top of that and like going into different storylines. I don't necessarily hate the newest movies, so what would be 7, 7, 8, and what 9, but I don't, you know, I mean, I like them for different reasons, and I like you know, Episode 3. Episode 3 is
Hmm.
great. Um, yeah, I'm kind of middle of the road on Star Wars. I mean, I can kind of take it or leave it. Lord of the Rings, though, is one of my favorites as far as like series and trilogies and that stuff go. And I'm not necessarily talking The Hobbit. I've seen those movies once before. But I mean, to me, Lord of the Rings, it's really hard to beat those movies.
I once slept through an entire Hobbit movie, start to finish, and didn't wake up one time.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It was
And
impressive.
I think it was the Desolation of Smaug.
Mm.
Yep, it was actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, like the dragon
it,
pops up and he's just screaming and yelling, and then went to
It's
sleep,
like,
woke up, movie's over. It's a go to
yep,
for me.
dang.
time to go, baby. Some nice AC in that movie theater. Yeah, I'm also a really big Lord of the Rings guy. Not so much the Hobbit movies.
uh,
Um, I watched the first couple of episodes of the Lord of the Rings like series on Amazon, and it really wasn't grabbing my attention too heavy. It's kind of a chore to
sure.
watch it. I didn't end up finishing it. But the original three, Fellowship of the Ring, Twin Towers, and Return of the King, obviously
Those are
fucking
great.
masterpieces, chef kiss, all
Yeah.
that. Dude, one that's really slept on, and people might even not know that it's a trilogy, but it's like the M. Night Shyamalan movies, Glass, Split, and Broken.
Mm.
Those are tough. If you've never seen those, they're kind of like psychological thriller type movies, all those M. Night movies are like that. So he's like Signs, he's the guy that
Hmm.
directed Signs and all that. So that's like his genre. But dude, those movies all work together and are all super trippy, even if you just watch each one by themselves.
Yeah, I've never seen any of those. I know you talk about them all the time, TC, but I've never seen any of them. But I mean, M. Night Shyamalan. I mean, he writes great movies, and like Signs is a really good one. Sixth Sense was written by him too. So
hmm Yeah, definitely give those a try sometime. Those are awesome. And I'm trying to think of other series or trilogies.
I mean, obviously, I mean the big one, Harry Potter.
Oh, Harry Potter. Dude, Harper and I are actually working through them because she's never seen them, and I'm like, dude, like
Dang,
through the first two, I was like, hey, just wait for number four. That
enjoy
one's
it while it
banging.
lasts. Because, dude, four and TC, I think we've talked about this a little bit too. Four is like the delineation between like it's like kind of. I mean, there's like some like some heavier stuff that goes on in the first three movies, but it's like four. It's when it starts. It's like all the crazy stuff starts happening,
hmm
and the farther you get into all of it, dude, the crazier it gets. I'm a big fan of Harry
Josh,
Potter, though. It's a great series.
Josh, you up on the Harry Potter movies? You seen them?
Yeah, I like I said, I've not seen every single one, every single minute, but I get the gist of most of them. I've seen, bits and pieces of a couple, and then I've watched, every minute of a couple other ones. So,
Yeah.
yeah, they're good movies. I was a little young for that, when those movies came out and all that stuff, so it wasn't exactly my cup of tea at the time. But
Mm.
um, my overrated pick is going to be the Fast and Furious series.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's such a good
oh.
thing going, man. Like
they did.
1 through 5, or even 6. I mean, 7 was fine too, but like 8, 9, and 10 are crazy. Like, at what point?
Like how many bald buff dudes can we fit in one movie?
Yeah, literally, dude. Like, like 1 was like the cool story about the cop and the street racer situation,
hmm
and then 2's not my favorite because like the little nitrous animations that they do, it's a little out there for me. But yeah,
Three's
dude,
good.
they're just like all, yeah, 3 and 4 are good movies. 5 is probably one of the best, honestly. It was like,
Which
like they do like the action stuff, but it's like not unbelievable where they're jumping out of airplanes and shit. 5 is when they go to like Rio or Brazil or
oh
whatever.
yeah, that's a
hmm
great one. In the safe. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then it kind of just fell off a hill after that. I mean,
Ye-
also when your co-main character dies, it's a little,
Yeah, tough
you
to
Right.
know.
bounce back from that. And dude, like number three, Tokyo Drift, like they did it with like a pretty much totally separate cast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Mark
like,
Winchell.
yeah, I was gonna say it was like the dude that played Mike Winchell in Friday Night Lights was like the star, and he's not. I don't think in any of the other movies.
Yeah. It's like a different storyline, but then like none of them really ever like. I mean, I guess in the newer ones, I think a couple characters come back, but they're really not ever like all together again, which is
Yeah, exactly.
kind of crazy. They just kind of lost it. I think you're right, Chach. After like the fifth movie kind of thing, it just kind of started kind of dwindling out. But I mean, I can see
Yeah.
why they still keep making movies, but
Yeah, I mean it's a box office and fucking nuke, man. Like everyone's
Yeah,
gonna go see it regardless if it's shit. You just have to buy the
yeah,
ticket, not what they care about it. So
yeah.
yeah, so that's my
Yeah.
overrated pick, boys.
For my overrated pick, I'm gonna piss a lot of people off, man.
Uh,
But it's just not my thing. It's not even necessarily a series. It's more
I
of a
already know where you're going with this.
yeah. It's the Marvel movies.
Mm.
Um, just kind of in general. Like I don't know if I just have like the superhero fatigue thing going on, but it seems just like the same thing over and over and over again. And it's like, you're like, how many times is someone gonna come try to blow up Earth and like at the last second the Ant Man's gonna go save him or Spider Man's gonna go save us or Doctor Who or Doctor Strange or like the Hulk is gonna go fight him for us. Like it's just the same thing over and over again, man. It's like I I just can't take it anymore. You know?
Yeah, I think even for me, and like, it's not that I don't like the Marvel movies. I mean, I do enjoy them, and like I enjoy some of the storylines within them. But like, I haven't seen really any of the new movies that have come out, just because. I mean, you're spot on, TC. It's like it's characters we know and love, and then there's a new bad guy, or it's an old bad guy, and then tries to kill the Earth or blow up the Earth or the universe or the quantum realm or whatever. Something needs to be blown up though, and then somehow they're stopped.
He says something needs to be blown up. Straight up, dude. Like there's something out there that this boy really wants to blow up
Yeah,
bad. It's like it's the race to see who's gonna either blow it up or not blow it up first, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
I
And like,
think
I mean, there's really good movies that I enjoy watching that are really good. I think like the whole Infinity thing and like Endgame and all that was really good.
Yeah.
But it is kind of rinse, cycle, repeat. Sometimes gets a little exhausting.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, if they would have just made Avengers movies,
Mm,
like where it's the whole gang fighting all at once, but like I think that's part of the issue is like the barriers to entry. Like, say someone's never heard of Marvel, which impossible, but
yeah,
like they have to watch like 19 movies to be caught up to watch like the first Avengers movie, but like
yeah,
if they just made like four Avengers movies, where they got to freaking fight off Thanos and shit, but
yeah,
like I don't know, it's just it's crazy, man. And then they just keep pumping them out, and freaking Ant-Man and the Wasp and freaking Black Panther 2 and 4 and Iron Man has like 9 movies, and yeah, it's just the whole
Yeah.
thing.
yeah. I know what you mean, and it's hard for just anybody to jump right into them because there's so many like different sub movies to each character. Everyone's has their own
Exactly.
movie, so yeah, for sure. And I think before I get into the overrated one, I think another underrated one I've talked about it before is the Oceans movies, Oceans 11, 12, and 13.
Mm,
Those are really, really good movies, and those are kind of like that's like they're like robbing a casino and stuff, and those are really, really good movies too. Hannah and I just went through and watched those not too long ago again, but those are really, really good too. Do I think overrated? I never like got into it, dude, but it was from my high school days, man. I'm gonna say like Twilight. I think is really,
Oh yeah.
really.
uh,
I never understood why people got into those movies. I just and like now it's you look back and they're just memed so hard, and it's like they weren't even really good for their time, and they're certainly like haven't stood that test of time. I feel like I don't know if anyone listening to this is just outraged right now, but I just tell me why. Just please tell me why people enjoy those movies because I really don't get it.
Yeah, it was
yeah, dude,
like,
those good.
sorry, TC. The Twilight movies came out, and then like Teen Wolf was like, oh, let's look at this blueprint. Obviously, there was a Teen Wolf movie that came out in like the '60s or '70s or whatever, but
Right.
like the high school werewolf vampire kind of category, and like I feel like they made a much more polished product than what Twilight gave us. Like I
Yeah.
feel like Teen Wolf was far more watchable than Twilight was, but
Yeah. Twilight was rough.
Yeah, Twilight for sure overrated, but um, dude, what a massive success those movies were. Like out of nowhere, it seemed like too. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like there wasn't a corner that you went to at my middle school where the girls weren't either Team Jacob or
Team Edward.
Team Edward. Yeah, like they hit their demographic heavy, man. Like
Hmm.
Yeah.
they knew who they're going after, and they nailed it on that aspect. But as far as like, yeah, my watchability or rewatchability, of
Yeah,
course,
no
it's got to
way.
be way overrated.
Yeah.
Um,
Also,
what's your guys' stance on the Transformers movies?
oh,
Oh, not really a fan. I can't say I'm a fan, but was this Shia LaBeouf in the first couple?
it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, I watched those. And Megan Fox. Ooh, yeah, I watched those. Like those
Ooh.
ones for sure.
Yeah, dude, Transformers was just like Mark Wahlberg was in one of them. He was in like the third
He's
one.
in the
Like that was the most.
last like two of them or three of
Yeah,
them.
I mean, they're like okay movies. I guess I don't know. They're. I feel like that. I mean, who Michael Bay made those, so there's lots of explosions and lots of crazy stuff going on. So that's cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think the coolest thing about Transformers to me is that like anyone could watch any Transformers movie by itself and like understand the whole thing if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
if you watch a Harry Potter movie in the middle, you're gonna be like, okay, what the actual fuck am I watching right now?
Yeah. Wait, who's
Yeah,
Snuppy?
Who's Snuffy? Yeah, I think one kind of in the same realm, but it's Jurassic Park. Uh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, like kind of like the same thing we're talking about Marvel. It's like, yeah, these dinosaurs about finna get out.
The dinosaurs got out.
Oh, they're out.
They're
You
out
know what I
again.
mean?
go north.
Dang. We still didn't catch that one. We knew that was it was there. I forgot.
Ooh, this one's like a super bad one now. Look at this one. It's a super mean one. You
he's
know
a,
what I mean?
he's a super mean dinosaur now. He was mean when we let him out, but now he's super mean.
And then like yeah, like and then like Chris Pratt just like randomly stops it by like doing this.
Yeah, right.
You're like, okay, buddy. But no, like obviously like the first couple are like absolute classics.
Yeah,
And actually like kind of made you like think back in the day, like, damn, like can we bring dinosaurs back?
yeah.
Like when
This
the dudes like
could
explain
be
the science
possible.
in the beginning, you're like, that seems like kind of plausible actually.
I need to find some amber right now.
Yeah, you're like, I could be a rich boy out here. But yeah. But then after that, like I said, kind of got that Marvel effect going.
Yeah, and like I like the very last one that we watched, like the most recent one that came out, I just remember saying after I was like they and like the direction that they're going, it's like they're like turning humans into the thing, into the into the bad guys. And it's like it's just kind of like it was always the dinosaurs. Like you have to watch out for the T-Rex. T-Rex is gonna eat you. But now it's like, well, it's the humans taking advantage of the dinosaurs. And
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
like
actual bad thing.
the rich humans are like
Yeah. Like
volatile,
no, not the T
volatile.
Rex. Don't
Yeah,
worry about the T Rex. Don't worry about the guy in the suit.
some rich asshole in Connecticut.
Yeah. How do you guys feel? I think one of the other big ones we haven't talked about yet is Hunger Games. How do you guys feel about the Hunger Games movies?
Oh, dude, they crushed the first two. The
Yeah,
Uh
first
huh.
two are tough,
How'd you
but
feel
then
about
like I think there's four total because I think there's only three parts, but
it's
like
one and two.
yeah, but the third has two parts or whatever. Just not as great because it's all about like overthrowing the capital and taking down the rich and like that whole
Uh huh.
aspect of it.
yeah,
But
it's a
like the
Yeah.
first
very
two are more so like
pseudo
actually about the
government
Hunger
film.
Games and they're lit. Plus Jennifer Lawrence. Oh my lord.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the thing, like right after we saw the first one in the movies, I was like, dude, it'd be so cool if there's like an all star game, and then the second one comes out and it's literally an all star game. I was like, oh my
Hmm.
gosh, I'm
It's like all the
actually a
best ones.
director.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like, yeah, they absolutely killed it. Like, and then when you throw a two parter at us, like, just stop, rest yourself. Like, come on,
Uh,
you can trim
uh,
off some fat here and there. Freaking let Rue die a little faster or something, you know. So yeah,
wow.
but yeah,
Spoilers. Look at this guy.
yeah, like they were cool when they came out, but like they're just one of those movies that like you watch it once and you're like, great, satisfied, perfect.
Yeah.
Like you can never watch it again and be the same as the first time you watched it.
Mm.
Kind of goes with like the Avatar, kind of things. Like the first time you watch, like obviously Avatar is a great movie. But like the world is what you fall in love with. But like Hunger Games is just about an idea. It's not the world you fall in love with. It's the concept. If that
It's
makes
true.
sense.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
Definitely.
like you just
great.
watch Avatar and drool on your screen for like 3 hours
It's true.
because
Have
like
you seen the
it's
second
just so
one yet?
pretty and no, don't talk about it.
You got
I
like
almost
4
bought it
hours.
on mom and dad's Amazon account the other day. But it was $25. I was like,
You
that's
better
a little steep.
have some time set aside. It's a long one.
Boys, do we have any other dying movies to get out there? Anyone else we want to piss off before we hop past this?
I don't think so. That's all I had.
What about the James
Um,
Bond movies? I feel like those are overrated too.
I've never
Yeah, I never
seen
really
any
seen
of
him.
them.
Never watched a single James Bond movie.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, boys, to wrap up this fine show, we're gonna do a little Oregon schedule walkthrough. For
Mm.
three. We like to consider ourselves seasoned Oregon fans. We're gonna take a little gander through the Oregon schedule here and see, what we're liking, what could be traps, what's our general feel.
Yeah,
So,
boys.
So
So we're we're just gonna, like I said, we're just walking through it, boys. We're going game by game, just general thoughts in each one. Like this is our way too early predictions. A lot can happen between now and then, but
I want
it's
an
never
over
too
under. I
early.
want an over under win total for you guys, for each of you. So think about it as we're going through. Or a
Exactly. We'll
prediction,
kind of make
schedule
we'll kind
prediction.
of make notes as we're going through the Oregon football schedule here, and yeah, let's just see what we get, boys. So we are starting off with Portland State in Eugene. I think we're all going to agree on this one. Pretty easy claps, nice warm up game. Any thoughts other than that?
no, sorry,
Yeah, I mean,
sorry, Mr. Bobby Hell on this one. Bobby's got a foot in both camps on this one, dude.
Ooh,
That's
I
kind of
know.
crazy.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
the old Bobby Howell game.
yeah. Hey, we're gonna send email the Bobby Howell Bowl thoughts.
Yeah, if you don't know who Bobby Howell is, go check out episode 22. We had a pretty sick interview with the guy.
Yeah,
Anyway, okay. Next week we'll be in Lubbock taking on Texas Tech. Um, those Big 12 teams are weird. You never really know what you're going to get. Texas Tech has not been a powerhouse of late, though.
yeah. Um, yeah. I hope Oregon can come in and just have a really, really good game against Texas Tech, and then Texas Tech can go on and at least win like some decent games during the season. I'm just gonna look at Texas Tech's schedule and what they have going on.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty smart out of conference game. Like I
Yeah,
said,
I think.
Texas Tech has
Yeah,
not been a powerhouse of late, but they are a household name. So you get them. Hopefully, you get the dub. Um, yeah, I think it's a smart out of conference game and easy claps, really.
yeah, I mean on the
yeah.
road too.
I think it's a much better go to than someone in the SEC. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean the
Yeah,
thing is that Texas Tech went 8-5 last season, so not good, not
exactly.
great.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
Tyler Shuck revenge tour.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean for real.
Okay,
Talk about a guy
so
you just feel bad for.
we had Portland State, Texas Tech, Hawaii in Eugene.
Yeah,
Yeah, should
Um,
be rodent in the second stringers at the
yeah. I
halftime.
mean this is similar to the Fresno State game we play. I mean it's just Hawaii instead of Fresno State. I feel like kind of the same caliber team when you really look at it.
yeah, I believe they're both in that. Was it Mountain
Mountain
West
West.
or WAC
Yeah.
Yeah,
or yeah? So the kind of same caliber team there. But
yeah.
boys, I really like kind of the rolling start that we have set up
Uh
for
huh.
this year. We got Portland State, Texas Tech, and Hawaii to kick off the year.
Yep.
Um, not hard at all to see us going 3-0 in those
Yeah.
first three there. Um, then comes really our
Yeah.
first possible. It's a big possible test, and that's Colorado again. We got them in Eugene though. We know what Coach Prime is doing down in Colorado. That's gonna be a little bit wishy-washy to try to predict right now without even seeing that team on the field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was so weird.
So I mean, I'm I like Coach Prime. I like what he's doing, and I like kind of the culture that he's bringing in. He wants those. He wants to, build some good human beings, and he wants people playing for his program. He doesn't allow people to act like idiots. He doesn't allow any of that crap under his program, which you gotta love. All biases aside. I mean, I feel like he's a great coach. I'm not super sold on some of the players that have, you know, um, especially his son at quarterback, and then Travis Hunter. I'm not super sold on. I mean, mind you, I mean they all came from playing at Jackson State, so I mean they're the amount of
Inflation.
the competitiveness of the Pac-12 is just it's through the roof. Um, so I mean, yeah, I mean Colorado opens at TCU, then plays Nebraska at home, and then has Colorado State at home. So I mean, they
Jeez
might,
Louise.
they could win one of those games, maybe.
Maybe
Who,
Colorado
who,
State.
maybe Colorado State and then Oregon. So I think Oregon runs it up on them pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Oregon's going to impose their will on this Colorado team. I mean, for everything you see on Twitter, it's just, Travis Hunter running around a fucking 2-star safety. Or, that's all the clips you see on Twitter. So, I mean, he might be the greatest player that we've ever seen, the second coming of Deion Sanders, but I don't think he's there yet. And I don't think, the competition level he's been up against is necessarily building his case either. I think it's just lowering his ceiling, if anything. But,
Yeah,
yeah, this might be just a game where Dan Lanning comes out and says, we're just going to run the ball down their throat for 60 minutes. Like, I don't
yeah,
care what happens, kind of thing. So,
yeah,
because that's like, you have these flash players, the Sanders kid at quarterback, Travis Hunter, all these 5 stars, but like, any SEC coach tell you the game is won in the trenches, and that's that's just a fact. Like,
yeah,
if you don't have a line to block for the kids, it's not going to matter. If you don't have a defensive line to get after the opposing team's quarterback, it's not going to matter. So,
yeah,
but yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. You guys pretty much summed it up, but we have yet to see if Coach Prime is a good coach yet.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
He's won a lot of games, but also had a lot more talent than everyone else did. Like, what type of coach do we have here? Like, you don't really know. Yes, they have brought in some good talent to Colorado, which is more than you can say than they've been doing the last couple of seasons. But it takes time, man. Like in college football, you have to like build almost like this infrastructure, right? And it takes a while for you to bring your guys in and to flip the program into what you want it to be.
Right.
Uh, you think about Kirby going to Georgia, took him a couple of years.
Yeah.
Dan Lanning did a great job of bringing in some transfers last year that really helped us out. But this year we're looking into bringing his guys in. You know, even when you have a superstar coach, Chip Kelly, going to UCLA, it takes him a while to build the program back the way that
Yeah.
he wants it. And we kind of see that now with like UCLA is really starting to turn it around last couple of years. Like
Hmm.
it takes a little bit of time. So I don't know if it's just, oh, we got Travis Hunter, the formal #1 overall recruit. We're gonna be good this year, you know.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I guess that maybe they could be. I don't know. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Um, so Colorado at Eugene, 4-0. I think we're all agreeing on that, right?
Yep.
gotta be.
Okay. Stanford at Stanford. We're moving to 5-0. Anything to say there? Stanford has given us trouble before.
Um. I
Yeah, they're
mean,
giving us some fits here
these
and there,
next
but
these next few games concern me a little more than
Yeah.
the previous four.
geez, that
Um.
is a tough stretch.
But this is the thing, man. It's like when you see that like Oregon loses these kinds of games, Stanford, Washington State, Washington, it's because of bad decisions late in the game. It's because of like an injury or an ejection,
Fumbles, yeah.
right? You look at Stanford, Kayvon Thibodeau getting ejected. I mean, we're winning by what, 10 with 50 seconds left? Thibodeau gets ejected for the penalty. He gets tossed. Stanford gets the penalty, ends up scoring, ends up getting the two. So like these are all of our games are winnable. It's just whether or not we make those good decisions late in the game. Stanford should be a win. We should have a very a pretty easy time with Stanford, our team versus their team, just as long as we have good smart decisions made.
Yeah, I will say if I was gonna circle some of these games to be like my trap games, it would definitely be this
Yeah,
one.
yeah, I agree.
Stanford at Stanford. It's sandwiched in between Colorado and Washington.
Yeah,
Colorado coming in with a lot of hype, and then obviously Washington being hate week and our biggest rival, arguably. Um, you're in Stanford. Uh, I would circle that as a game to pay attention to.
yeah, yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah, and then after Stanford, like I just mentioned, we're going to Seattle to take on UW. Um, we need
Yep.
to get, we need the
If
win, boys.
if we
We
do
need a
one
win
thing
bad.
this football season, please just let us dismantle this team
Yeah.
into a thousand little tiny pieces. This is all I
Is
want.
Washington's quarterback coming back?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh wow! So this is going to be a massive matchup.
Yeah.
If things go how we're thinking they're going to go, it's probably two 5-0 teams. I haven't obviously looked at Washington's
They
schedule, but
got
with
a.
Penix coming back, they're going to be a good team.
Yeah.
They play Ohio State.
Let me see what Washington's got on the
I
docket.
could have sworn they had Ohio State or Michigan scheduled.
Really?
Um, they got Boise at home, Tulsa at home. They go to Michigan State.
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they clobbered Michigan State at home last year.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Then they got Cal at home, Arizona at Tucson, and then they have Oregon at home.
Yeah, I mean that's probably going to be one of the premier games in the Pac-12 this year. It's going to
Yeah.
be a game day destination. I don't know. We'll see. Because I mean, like Sprague was saying, I mean, I don't know what Washington's ranked in the preseason poll, but I'm guessing both of us will be inside the top 15, top 10 area.
Yeah.
So that'll be and with that early in the year, a lot of the SEC big games don't happen until close to the end of the year. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but yeah, man, if man, so many just take backs, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
if we do one thing, just let it be. Let's just win that one, man. Just win that one.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely winnable. I mean, we had the game in our grasp last season. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, some bad decisions late. Bo Nix goes down with the ankle injury. Like, a lot of things happened in that game.
Right.
But
Um.
so we're
Yeah,
six and zero.
we need the win bad, boys.
Yeah,
Washington State in Eugene.
I think
I
that's
think we're all
clobbering time.
Yeah.
clobbering time. Okay. Utah in Salt Lake City.
It's a tough
Kind
one.
of a little
Scary.
bit of rivalry you got going on with Utah, but Utah seems to be getting kind of old. A lot of guys going to the league.
Yeah,
Maybe kind of the end of an era. I don't know what kind of rising situation is, but I
Yeah,
don't
and they don't
know.
have any more
Don't feel
tight
the
ends
same.
that have a fucking 9.5 foot catch radius and shit.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, another tough game. I mean, we had them well last year, and we had a
Hmm.
couple of hurt, banged up. It was actually a really good game, but yeah, I mean, I think Oregon should be able to win that game. I mean, mind you, if everyone's healthy, everyone's coming into the game. Like, I mean, winnable for sure, winnable for us.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Boys, we got Cal in Eugene.
Uh,
Splattered.
yeah, that's gonna be ugly.
Easy claps. You want to talk about premier matchups in the Pac-12? This next one, boys, we
Oh.
got USC coming to Eugene next year. Um, that's gonna be a fun one, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Um, obviously, I'd like to say easy claps over a SC team, but I
Yeah,
am, enough of a football fan to say that USC is going to be a good team next year.
yeah, yeah. I think. I mean, that's gonna be a good game. I mean, to me, like when I first initially just look at it, it screams shootout. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know how much work we've done in Oregon secondary this season, just replacing some of those guys that we had leave. But I mean, our front seven are great on defense, and I think the secondary kind of has to prove itself through the beginning of the season and stuff. But I mean, obviously Caleb Williams coming back as the rating Heisman winner, so I think that's a good one. I win. I want everything in my being to have Oregon completely clobber them at home. It would be great because USC is going to have a cakewalk schedule, to my knowledge. Um,
Always. Yeah, I mean, we'll play Portland State and Hawaii in those first couple of weeks of the season, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if they got like a WAC team or a Mountain West team or something later on in the
And
season.
they played like only two cupcakes because they have Notre Dame at the end of the season. So
Yeah.
they go
So
two and
yeah,
then
they have San Jose State at home, then Nevada at home, then Stanford at home, and then they start their Pac-12 with Notre Dame after in October.
Hmm.
So I mean, they don't play anybody as per usual because when they do, it doesn't go well.
yeah,
All
I
right,
mean,
boys.
it's
Oh,
just
go ahead,
you know
Josh.
what USC. Are you gonna get the USC that dropped 45 points on Utah and lost to that crazy last little sequence in the Utah game, or are you gonna get the USC team that put up 10 points against the Beavers?
Hmm.
So they or 13, whatever they scored, but. So I mean, it's just going to see, can they travel? Can they play under pressure? Can they play in an environment like Autzen Stadium? Can Caleb Williams keep up with Bo Nix? I don't know. We're going to find out though.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Arizona at Arizona or Arizona State. Sorry, boys, at Arizona State.
Uh,
Anything much to say here?
nope. Should
Arizona
be
State
pretty.
has
Perhaps.
open tryouts for their football team.
Yeah.
Yes. The Civil War is in Eugene this year. That's going to be later in the year, November 24th.
Oh, I love the Friday after Thanksgiving, man. That's just the
Hmm.
most clutch thing ever, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Um, yeah, I mean, like I said earlier with the Washington game, if there's two games on the schedule that I want nothing more than just to win, it's just those two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
we lost to Oregon State last year, right?
We did.
yeah, it's when
Yeah.
they came back in
Yeah.
the fourth quarter.
Yeah, boys. So that wraps up the regular season. Obviously, the Pac-12 championship game would be December 1st. That'd be in Las Vegas. Harper and I just shook on it earlier that if the Ducks make it, we're going.
Heck yeah.
Um, so I'm pretty much counting that as the last game of the season.
Dude,
So,
hey,
boys,
just get your tickets, man. Just hey, book your hotel, man.
right? So, boys, I'm kind of circling Stanford. I'm
Yep.
circling Washington. I'm circling USC,
Mm,
and Oregon State
yeah.
as kind of the critical ones for this
Yeah.
year. Are we all kind of agreeing there? Those are really like our swing games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
I
well,
think
here,
Yeah.
yeah.
let's break it up. Let's break it up into two sections because you got Stanford and Oregon State as more of the trap kind of games.
Yeah.
Probably a better team than both those teams. Really, our pivotal games would be Colorado, Washington, USC,
Utah.
Utah, maybe.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I think you're right. And I think the Colorado game, I think that game is important too. Obviously Colorado won one freaking game last year, but I think if we can come out like our first game of like conference play and like have a good game and like hang up a bunch of points and stuff, like it looks good. And then you kind of just keep building momentum until Washington. So I like that it's Colorado, Stanford, then Washington. I like that we're not opening, with Washington, or we kind of have a couple games to get settled into the Pac-12 before.
Oh, it's actually Colorado, Stanford by Washington,
Yeah, where's our bye week?
in between Stanford and Washington.
Oh, perfect. Okay, got it. I see that now.
Nice.
So yeah, there's
So I
no
love that.
back-to-back road games. You don't play any of the big dogs back to back. You got Washington, then Washington State, then you play Utah, then Cal's mixed in, then USC, then Arizona State, then Oregon State. So it's like a nice
Uh-huh.
little back and forth because that's what we noticed about last year's schedule is like, obviously the Georgia situation that doesn't need to be talked about too much. But,
Right.
then like we went down that stretch where we had like Washington State and then you might have had one like was it Cal or Colorado or something, and then it was like Washington, Utah, Oregon State,
Yeah.
and right all
Yeah.
lumped up together, and a couple back to back road trips in there, and so I really like the way they put it together with no back to back road trips, and yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you obviously gonna have to get some wins on the road, but we get Colorado, SC, and Oregon State all at home.
Yeah.
Those are some more of our critical games, so nice to have those at home. Everyone knows Oregon has a massive home field advantage, so nice to have them in Eugene for those.
Yeah, I mean, great schedule for this year, especially if they're trying to make a push at a playoff spot or something like that. Great schedule for it this year. I feel like Texas Tech was a great pick for the out of conference game at the beginning of the season. Um, I mean, it
Yeah,
kind of seemed,
it seems like a tune-up game without being a tune-up game.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, and I
I
mean,
mean,
like a solid win against USC and Eugene, like great move. And then if you can go into Washington and win, like listen, like we played our biggest rival at their home stadium and won.
Hmm.
So a lot of these games look good too
yeah,
on
like if you have
the
Texas
on
Tech a
paper.
win on the road, if you have Washington a win on the road, Utah a win on the road, you beat USC at home and Oregon State, like if all of those teams could end up being, in the top 15, 25, dude, like,
Yeah,
I mean, that's a probably a shoe in for the playoff
Yeah.
spot. But,
Looking
what
good,
was
boys.
I gonna say?
yeah.
Yeah. I
No,
mean,
if only the season started next week, huh?
spring game 2 weeks from Sunday or
Hey,
Saturday.
admission is free for those of you in the Eugene area. Admission is free. Saturday, April
Hey.
29th. Get in there. 1 p.m.
And then the last thing I just want to touch on real quick, really say that Jake Paul and Nate Diaz on August 5th. That's the
Yeah.
next thing we got going here. So, um, I mean, I don't know. My heart is, I don't know. Like, I love it, Nate Diaz and everything he's about and all
Yep.
that good
Yep.
stuff, but boxing is a different animal also on the
Yeah.
same hand. So,
From
um,
a ticket perspective, I get it. Like, it's gonna do numbers for sure. It's Nate Diaz, it's
mhm.
Jake Paul. Like, it's gonna do numbers. But like, as soon as I saw this fight announced, I'm like, but is Nate really like that? Like, do we really think that Nate's like that technical of a striker? Like, not saying he hasn't knocked people out before and he's not a tough ass dude, but like, Jake's proven that he's a very good boxer, and if they're gonna be boxing, like, I mean, obviously I'm still gonna watch it, but I don't know. I don't know if Nate's in the same class.
I think it'll be interesting. I mean, like, is there any way that, like, I mean, I don't know if is it possible for Jake Paul to knock him out? I mean, we've seen Nate Diaz just fight
I
some
was saying
crazy
Nate Diaz is
dudes
iron chin, dude.
with like a third of the glove and like survive the entire fight. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be fun. I think those press conferences are going to be crazy. I think there's going to be bloodshed before the fight, which will be sweet.
Hmm.
Um, I wonder if Nate Diaz starts losing the boxing match, if he'll just like shoot in on him or something, like just randomly. I think that'd be awesome. That's a weird
Tyron
one
Woodley
though,
did that,
man.
didn't he?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Tyron Woodley accidentally took him down or something happened, but
it's just a
yeah,
weird fight. I don't
it
know.
is. Which before the Tommy fight, I think if either way, Jake was going to fight Nate next. That's what everyone was saying, at least. But
Yeah,
from what I'm seeing online, it's looking like Jake is switching coaches, like his whole boxing team, and so I think that's why he went for Nate rather than going after Tommy right away. Because I mean, after the Tommy fight, it seemed like both parties kind of just wanted to go for a rematch, but
yeah,
so maybe swapping coaches, going for a little tune-up of sorts. It's crazy
Yeah.
that Nate Diaz is a tune-up for Jake Paul.
yeah.
That's actually a sentence, but
What a world we live in.
yeah,
Yeah, like, but you know what? Even though I don't think that maybe Nate would be, or the Nate is the most technical striker out there. Like at the same time, like Jake has agreed to get in the ring with Nate Diaz.
It's true.
Like that's the other side of it. You know what I mean? That's
right.
what's gonna be like. Oh, maybe because like Nate Diaz is a bad dude. Like we
Yeah,
know that. You know
yeah,
he has been around the block in the UFC, and we know all the antics. And he's people always try to act gangster. Like he really is a gangster, like from the streets and shit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And like now Jake has agreed to be in the ring with this guy. So like that's the other side of it. But again, how many times are we gonna fall for this? Because like, in a street fight, Tyron Woodley or Anderson Silva probably beat Jake Paul, but under the specific rules of boxing, Jake beats these guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking far away. It's in what, August 5th? Is that what I said? Yeah, I
August.
think so.
Yeah.
So
It's a
it's
long
still like
camp.
4 months out. So that's what kind of makes me also think that he's switching coaches, because it'd be kind of weird for him to announce it this early if it was just going to be like a standard 8 week or 10 week camp or whatever.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
the
that'll be
the press
something. We'll be
conference.
tuning in as usual.
You're right, Shane. The press conferences are going to be nuts.
It's gonna be crazy, especially if freaking Nate's brother's there.
Yeah,
Phew.
Nick.
Nick, yeah,
209, baby, Stockton.
dude.
Do
Hey,
you think? Do you think Jake Paul will be on his Conor McGregor Dustin Poirier 2 vibes, or do you think he'll still just be the same Jake?
I don't
That's
know.
a
Like,
great question.
I don't know, because I mean, like, you just can't go out there and start acting all reckless with Diaz,
Yeah,
because
that'll
Yeah,
actually
he's
kill you.
about it. I feel like he doesn't care, and they've had a lot of history too. They've been freaking jawing at each other since, I mean, pretty much since Jake started boxing, right?
Hmm.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Anything else we want to touch on, boys? That's all the materials I got.
Yeah, I think I'm all good there.
yeah. I'm all good,
We
man.
got
No,
NBA
I
playoffs.
mean,
We got hockey playoffs
yeah,
coming
I
up.
mean, real quick as of today, I mean, we kind of touched on it before we started recording, but it looks like the Washington Commanders are being sold. Looks like Dan Snyder is releasing his death grip on the organization. So nothing but smiles over here from this camp. So hopefully that all actually goes through. $6 billion is the figure I saw. So
Yeah, got to be one of the worst reigns of ownership in any professional sport. So, I mean,
yeah,
hopefully it is coming to an end for your sake, Schmag, but also for all the employees and the players and everyone that's had
yeah,
to deal with them over the years, you know?
that's gonna be one hell of a documentary when it comes out, dude.
Yeah.
All right, real quick before we leave, boys. Who you guys got for the NBA playoffs? Who's your one pick ticket to win it all?
Mm.
Um, admittedly, haven't watched a ton of basketball this year.
Yeah, who's in the playoffs?
Um,
I'll pull it up.
all right,
Here's
so
some
out of
general
the
field rating.
West,
I'll
I'll
pull it up.
give you a breakdown. I think Memphis, Denver, and Sacramento are the top three seeds in the West. And I
Well,
don't think
Sacramento.
anyone is scared of
Jeez.
those guys. You have KD and the Suns in there behind them. You have Steph and the Warriors. You have LeBron and the Lakers, all like as the lower seeds in the Western Conference. So I'm probably going with Suns or Warriors out of the West.
yeah.
And then out of the East, it's really like there's three good teams and the rest are horrible. You got Milwaukee, Boston, Philly, and then a big drop, and then a lot of bedrock, and then the rest of the teams. Um,
Mhm.
so, like I said, I'm going. You know what? I'm gonna go. I'm going Suns in Boston. I think it's our finals.
Wow.
I think Boston probably gets
Dang.
the dub.
Interesting.
I just hope Bron freaking just demoralizes the Grizzlies.
I despise the Grizzlies. I don't know why.
Yeah, I hope.
Dylan Brooks, great.
Former Oregon GOAT, too.
I
2017
know
Final
that's what I was
Four.
saying. Former Oregon GOAT, but not it in the NBA guy.
Dude, honestly, looking at the playoff bracket, you love to see it. You got the Sacramento Kings in there. Imagine. You
Yeah,
got you got the Hawks in there. You got and the Knicks. Look at that. Would you look at that?
that's what I was saying. I was like, dude, like there's like three teams in the East, and then everyone else.
Even the Cavs are a 4 seed. The Heat are still waiting a playing game, and the Timberwolves are also waiting a playing game.
Well, the last time I saw anything about basketball was like the Timberwolves players like fighting each other, and
Yeah, that was
like
like 3 days ago.
yeah, so that's good. I like them though;
Yeah,
they got
so
some grit. You know what I mean? Hold each other
dude,
accountable.
yeah, honestly.
I will say that don't ever count out Steph Curry and the Warriors, man. Like
True.
for some reason, like those guys just always play well, especially come playoff time. So would not
Yeah,
be
I was gonna
surprised at
say.
all if they make another
It
run.
looks like they're on the same side of the bracket, but it'd be lit if we get one more LeBron versus Steph in the Western Finals at least. But it looks like they're
Hmm.
on the same side of the bracket, so
Yeah.
sad.
George, I also saw on the hockey front, I saw that the Penguins missed the playoffs this year.
Hmm.
First time in 16 years.
That's
Pretty
crazy, man.
nuts.
Yeah, I saw that today, and then I saw that Jonathan Taves too from Chicago announced his retirement.
Real sad stuff. And then the Bruins like broke the record. They went like 61 and like 12.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's nuts.
Yeah, just ridiculous. They broke the points for the team highest
yeah.
ever.
Marchand's a little pest though.
Yeah, I hate them. But
Pasternak.
tease what it
Pasty.
bees. Kings are in the playoffs now, TZ?
Yeah.
You guys want to go
Nice.
catch a
Pleasure,
game or
baby.
what?
What'd you say?
You gonna go catch a game or what?
Yeah, I think it's a possible rematch of last year of Oilers Kings, so that could be kind of fun.
Nice.
Um, you know who's playing goalie for the Oilers, man? His
The
old boy
boy.
Skinner.
Skinner, baby.
The
Yeah,
boy, dude.
yeah. I see Yamamoto skating around out there. For those of you at home that don't know what the hell I'm talking about, Skinner and Yamamoto and the coach, I believe, all played or
Mm-hmm.
coached for the Bakersfield Condors, who's the AHL affiliate for the Edmonton Oilers. So they all got called up. So that's why we recognize some of these names around out
Skeeter.
there. Yeah,
The boys, dude.
watching
You
playing
know
old
all about them
Bakerstucky.
Carl Jr. power plays, baby.
Yeah, we've held off plenty.
Yeah,
What about the Yamamoto game winner, bro?
to tuck them in.
Tuck
We
'em.
took him in.
And I had a freaking butt cyst that was just leaking the whole time. Not ideal.
Not ideal at all.
You know, you take an L. Well, boys, anything we're dying to touch on? I think that's pretty solid work at us.
Yeah.
No.
Um, yeah, we hate Washington, we hate USC, we hate Oregon State. But that is effectively going to do it for episode 23 of the Keep It Down podcast. As always, you can find us on Instagram at Keep It Down Pod. Take you wherever you choose to listen to the podcast on all normal podcast platforms. Be sure to follow the YouTube Keep It Down exclamation point. We post all of our video content over there, so you can see the boys as we're chatting it up and dying laughing, falling off screen, and all that good stuff. So post some clips now and then too. So boys, say goodbye to the people, huh?
Yeah, guys, thanks for sticking with us, man. Our Michael Jordan episode, number 23, or LeBron, whatever school of thought you're coming from. I don't discriminate, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, guys, thanks for listening and keeping with us.
Yeah, thanks everyone so much for listening. We'll catch you here pretty soon for episode 24. So everyone have a great weekend. We'll be in touch.
As always, be good people.
You
Peace.
heard.